chat. Good to see you, Romero. Glad to see you in here, buddy. Been a little while. All right, let's move it along. Running game, offensive ranking. So this is the offensive side running the football. All right, the Packers are 25th in yards per carry right now. This is yards per rush attempt. The Bengals are 31st. Now, keep in mind, who have the Bengals played? I don't know. I know the Packers played three pretty stout defenses. Really, when it comes to run defense, 4 stout defenses.
Yeah.
Dallas was 7th in the league in yards per carry allowed. Look at where they're at now, guys. People that were saying this Dallas defense was horrible, Dallas is now tied for 3rd in I'm sorry, this is on offense. My bad. We'll get to the defense in a second. Let me just take a quick look. Dallas, because I think did they sink out of sight? They're in 17th now.
Yeah.
Okay. So they went from 7th to 17th. Got it. All right. So my bad on that. In terms of offensive rushing, yards per rush attempt, the Packers are 25th, the Bengals are 31st. Dallas is running the football down there is what the point I was trying to make.
That's a very good point, Clay, because all offseason they were talking about how they have absolutely no running game. They're worried about their running game. They're trying to bring in Booker to give something to that running game. And it's like, dude, a running back fell into your lap, and now you're pushing 6 yards a carry. That's, almost 2 yards more than you were running last year. That can really set your offense up for success. And I think that's why you see Dak spinning the thing like that. I mean, he's able to not have everything sitting on his shoulder. Who was it? Cosell was saying Dak's turning into a win because quarterback, not a win by quarterback, right? So it's Dak is showing up because he's got a little bit around him, a little bit of run game. He doesn't have maybe CD, but we can still make that happen because of Dak. So I think that's kind of where we need to get to. Let's let Jordan be our win because not by. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, and so you see here Cincinnati only 3.1 yards per carry, Tim. Not overly concerned with the run, which kind of lends credence right back to what you said. Listen, keep everything in front of you. Play the pass. Put 7 in coverage. And like I said, let's go with a cover 6 look and let Jamar Chase dictate the coverage. Make sure the cover 4 side is on his side. Not every play, but the majority of the time, I would like to see a lot of cover 6. Because, again, when you look at what we've ran so far this year, let me pop this graphic up. So far this year, we are running cover 3 37% of the time, cover 2 21% of the time. Make sure I got the year right. I believe I do.
Yep.
And cover 6, we've only ran it 14% of the time so far this year. So
that cover 1 man needs to go away. Let's get that 18% number down.
Get it down to about at least 16, maybe 15%, and get that cover 6 up to, what I would like to see is honestly, we got cover 6 14% of the time and cover 1 man 18% of the time. I want to see those flip. That's what I want to say. And
I don't mind a little cover 1 man when you got a short field. Your opponent's knocking on the door of the red zone or something, and you want to man up. I get it, but early in a drive with a lot of field behind you, it can bite you in the ass big time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So back to the run defense now. All right, this is where the Packers are excelling. Get that off the screen there. Apologize. So defensive ranking, yards per rush attempt allowed, the Packers are 5th in the league. The Bengals are 16th. So the run defense, Emilio, has been stout. I mean, 3.6 yards a carry is all you're allowing. The only teams that are better are New England, the LA Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Cleveland Browns. Again, that's why I looked at that Cleveland game, couldn't get the running game going the way you wanted to. That doesn't bother me as much because Cleveland is the best run defense in the league right now. What do you think about Green Bay sitting in the 5th spot? And then, of course, the Bengals being down there at 16.
Yeah, better than last year. We'll take that. Absolutely. Obviously, it's probably going to even out as the season goes on. But, 3 yards to carry, that you're stopping them before they get a first down, right? If you're looking at a running attack as anything over 4 yards, you're in the clear, 3.5 where you can break that 10 yards every 3 plays. I'm super happy with that. I'm glad that, it didn't all fall into shambles because you brought in Micah and everything and, and Wyatt's not there. Okay. But we can still hold up. And you do that to a Dallas team that basically had to throw it all over the yard to keep up with you, who's pushing almost 6 yards a carry, right? So you're cutting them in half and you played that game up to 40 points. So it's not like they didn't have opportunities to run it. So I think, like you said, hopefully we can get Jacobs going this game because you're going up against an opponent that you might find a couple cracks in it.
Yeah, Clint in the chat here said Eagles 29. Wow, I think he's talking about running the ball. So the Eagles are 29th in rushing this year, guys. They're 29th. And then in run defense, They're tied for 24th. Not to get too far off track here, Tim, I apologize. I just seen that and was like, are they really 29th in rushing? That's
It
wild.
backs up what you always talk about. Philly's got a lot on tape, right? The NFL teams are well-versed in what Philadelphia tries to do with the ball, whether that's Saquon or Jalen Hurts or whatever they got going in their run game. Clearly the tide is turning. Film study does pay off, and it translates to the field sometimes. And it's a game of inches and a game of adjustments. So, and again, we're what, barely a quarter of the way into the season here. We're going into week 6. So a lot can change in a few short weeks. But I mean, to your point about, the running attack, like Emilio was saying, like this could be an opportunity with that semi-suspect defensive line there with the Bengals. I'd like to see a versatile approach. I'd like to run between the tackles. I'd like to run outside the tackles. I'd like to get some toss. I'd like to, inside zone. Let's get some duo going. Let's throw the damn kitchen sink at Cincinnati when it comes to the run game and not let them get comfortable. Let them be on their heels all day long,
I would love to see flow and boot flow, basically wide zone and boot flow off of it. And get Tucker Kraft involved early and often there in the passing game for sure. When you're talking passing game, offensively, yards per pass attempt, for all those people that say Matt LaFleur is too conservative, don't look now, but the Packers are 4th in the league in yards per pass attempt. Matt LaFleur is straight belt to ass in the passing game right now. And Jordan Love is an MVP candidate, so you got to tip your cap to the old ball coach there. The only 3 teams that are better than them are Seattle, Baltimore, and Indianapolis as it sits right now. Bengals, however, their yards per pass attempt on offense, 27th, tied for 27th at 5.9 yards per pass attempt. Now, they're moving on to the next quarterback, right? Maybe they're expecting that to get a little bit better with Joe Flacco. I don't expect it to change much at all, Emilio. I don't know how you feel about that, man.
A yard and a half less than last year. That's brutal for a passing game. And you go up to the Packers, who have actually gotten a little bit better than last year. They were at 8.3, I think, versus 8.1 beforehand. And it's like, yeah, Matt LaFleur is still cooking. There's still not a problem there. I think it's, maybe Jordan's not taking as many attempts. What's he averaging, like 30 a game, something like that, which is normal. But nowadays it seems like 40, 45, if you're really wanting to throw the ball, is what you're looking for. Matt staying consistent, not overworking your quarterback, not overworking your back. We're in good shape. The only one I would say, scroll back up real quick, Clay, on the Packers is our away number. So we're 7.6 yards when we're away versus 9.1 at home. So we're a yard and a half less away. I think that has a lot to do with the snap count, a lot to do with trying to decide what we want to do on silent. And I think getting home, we're going to hear we'll hear a hard count here and there. I think maybe when we're away, we need to get under center more so that you don't need to do as many claps or through the leg looks. And we just need to kind of run our offense maybe a little differently when we're away. Stop putting so much pressure on that old line and, listening for this or looking down the line and stuff like that. Let's try to make it easier on them. But, when we come home, I think they're going to spin it. We're going to get maybe an offsides or too many men on the field, hard count, something like that.
That's a great point, Emilio, considering, musical chairs that we've been playing on that O-line, right? You got to have your counts right, and you have to, try to manufacture some consistency when you're having consistent personnel out there, for sure. It's a great point.
Yeah, and the whole looking through the legs for the snap blew me away. I've been watching football a long time. Has the Packers ever done that before?
I don't know, but I did see Josh Myers doing it for the Jets too. So I was like, is that something we carried over, or is that
no? That's Aaron Glenn's dumpster fire over there.
Is that just the other option too? We don't want to tap him on the hip from a guard. Let's look between the legs. I don't know.
You got high school teams that don't even do that anymore. Yeah. Come on now.
Seriously.
Well, actually, there is high school teams that do it, Tim. It's called the Jets. So you never want to be in the same conversation with the Jets, be on the forefront of some kind of new age thing. I know it's not new. We're kind of tongue in cheek here, but I've never noticed that before. Where it's just, all right, I'm going to stare between my legs and then I'm going to snap the ball. That's a lot. I don't know. That seemed like it'd be very, very disorienting.
Yeah, like why not get
you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
Correct.
Why not get under center in that instance? I mean, how many times can you can still run the ball under center? You can still do everything, and then maybe you get to crowd out of the game. All right, let's go back to shotgun and do our thing.
Yeah. All right. All right, let's move along to passing defense. Yards per pass attempt allowed. The Green Bay Packers are tied for first place with the Atlanta Falcons at 5.2 yards per pass attempt. So Jeff Hafley is cooking in the pass defense, no doubt. He's top 5 in run defense, right? So you ask yourself, how come we're not top 5 or top 3 in yards or in points per play? You have turned the ball over on the other side of the field, right? And given short field to a lot of teams. So that's something you got to clean up for sure. You got to make sure you control that this week. But Packers are tied for first. The Bengals are 25th in yards per pass attempt. They're giving up 7.3 yards per pass attempt as it sits right now. I'm trying to see which one is the away game. Next to last column. On the road, Cincinnati's giving up 7.1, so they're a little bit better in passing defense on the road than at home, which is kind of wild to think about. Not much better, but yeah. What do you think, Emilio? What are you grinning about?
I was just looking at Dallas, man. They're 7.9. They're last in the league, and at home gave up 8.9 yards per pass. It's like, that is brutal, man. In Jerry World, you're just getting the ball chucked all over. It's just passing back and forth on the big screen. You know what I mean?
Somebody check on SA.
I'm telling you. That's brutal.
So, yeah, there's your passing defense numbers. Tim, what do you think, man? Hafley the real deal this year, man.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet you most of these are from zone, not cover one man, like we talked about
time and time again, right?
Yeah, and I hate to keep sounding like a broken record, but again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Keep it in front of us. I would anticipate fully that Cincinnati is going to try and get the ball out quick. I'm not saying screen game, but it's going to be short passes, trying to build some momentum. And if you're getting overly aggressive there, those type of plays can really kill you. So I'm confident that Hafley and this defense are going to continue to build on that. And, for all we talk about being a little nervous going into this game, I mean, when you break down the numbers like this could be a perfect opportunity for us, get right game. Like I said, we're coming off a loss and a tie. We got to get a dub here coming out of the bye. And, you want your defense to play aggressive situationally, but you don't have to sit there and, breathe down their neck all day long and get lit up over the top. So I think it's a testament to, Hafley and really DeMarcus Covington with the work he's done with the defensive front and, inconsistent personnel and still getting good results. So hopefully it's more of the same.
And for me, just kind of stepping back and taking a broad view of everything, right? Like when you look at everything, and we'll go through it one more time and you guys probably caught on. There's not one key statistical category that the Bengals are better than the Packers in, right? Now, you think if there's ever a game that's a slam dunk win, it's this one. But by definition, that means this is a trap game. That's just the way that works, right? So, I don't know, man. When you kind of look at everything on the surface, I like where the Packers are at, right? They're still the youngest team in the league. I'm tired of hearing it. I know y'all are tired of hearing it because I'm tired of saying it, but they are the youngest team in the league. You got Christian Watson's going to be getting healthy here real soon. Devontae Wyatt, that's a hit, but hopefully he'll be ready to go at a minimum the game after Arizona, right, which is 2 weeks from now. I think we could make it without him in Arizona possibly, but, man, that defense looked totally different when Devontae Wyatt wasn't on the field. So when you break all these statistical categories down, offensive scoring, points per play, the Packers have the edge. Scoring defense, points per play allowed, the Packers have the edge by a long shot. Turnover margin per game, the Packers are better than the Bengals. Running game, offensive ranking, yards per rush attempt, the Packers are slightly better. That's the one that's the closest, right? Running game defense, rush defense, right? Yards per rush attempt allowed, Packers are significantly better, being top 5. Passing game on offense, Packers are 4th, Bengals are 27th. Again, another notch, a big notch in the Packers belt there. Passing defense, the Packers are 1st, the Bengals are 25th. Tim, every single category, man, Packers have the edge. This is feeling like they're 14-point favorites, just like the line says.
It's true. There's a lot of validity to that approach, but we also know any given Sunday, right? Strap on the helmets and the cleats and snap the ball, and nobody's going to think about any of this. It's going to come down to how we play. And, another thing we need to talk about, not too much, but we should mention it is, don't shoot ourselves in the foot, guys. You know, if we can go ahead and not beat ourselves, I think 14 points is pretty fair. But if you're getting false starts and you're getting, you know, procedural penalties and stupid things that are backing you up all day long, you're going to put Cincinnati in a position that, you know, it could be a close game. And honestly, a close game is going to favor Cincinnati in this matchup. I think we need to go out there and do what we do best and get it done, put points on the board, play fundamentally sound, both sides of the ball. And I think we should. Like I said earlier in the week, you know, if we put a 40 burger on Cincinnati, we better win this game. You know, 40 points wasn't enough to beat Dallas, unfortunately, even in overtime. But I think, you know, you start getting, you know, well into those 30s, 40-point margin, and you're scoring tutters and not kicking field goals all day. We should win this game, you know, by a couple of scores at least, as long as we're not shooting ourselves in the foot, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Emilio, you got anything else you want to hit on here, man, before we wrap up?
No, just that. I mean, Tim pretty much hit it. It's just that the team itself, I think coming out of the bye, the defense is really going to be motivated to try to get that taste out of your mouth, which is going to be huge. You're at home. You're going to have a good crowd roar, all that. You know, you're going to have it'll be different than when you played Flacco last time, right? You were playing in Cleveland. He got to make his calls and do all that. If it's loud out there, if you're staying on them, keeping up, the crowd's hype. I mean, you could really get them into a blunder. Like, we have issues when there's crowd noise and we're away. So it's really just putting them in a pickle and being able to, make the most out of your opportunities. Like Hafley said, he goes through every week the missed opportunities, missed turnover chances, all these things that are there each week that, hey, if you just do that 1/11th, that's yours, and you can't worry about somebody else's job. You have to do yours, all those things. You know, some of those are going to start turning over and actually becoming, +1 for us instead of just a deflection or anything like that. So I think this could be one of those weeks that we turn that around, maybe get that floodgate open for turnovers and see what happens.
Yeah, our guys better wake up with their piss hot. Like I said